Hi, I'm Richard, Slimming World's Development Chef, and today we're here in the Slimming World kitchen where we develop all our great tasting food. I'm going to show you one of our great speedy recipes, which is a quick win chicken tikka masala. For all you busy people out there, this one start to finish in 20 minutes. So, the only three things we need to chop at the beginning, when we get this out of the way, is our red onion, red pepper, and some coriander. So to chop the red onion, I'm going to just take the end off there and cut through. And we're going to cut through the root, and this will keep the onion together, ready to chop into nice small pieces. So remove the skin, nice and fine on this one. And then we're going to finely chop. So, to do that, we have the root of the onion away from us, and we cut down and through the onion as many times as we can, but not through the root. This holds it together, and then we can turn the onion 90 degrees, and if you feel confident enough, just give it a little cut horizontally, and because we haven't cut through the root, it's holding it together, and then we cut down and through into nice fine pieces. And you can get rid of this little root bit there. Because we've not cut into that, that's the bit that makes your eyes water. So, repeat with the second piece. So that's our onion done. We're going to move on to our red pepper. So just with a bridge, just cut that in half. And then just with the tip of your knife, just take out that core and any seeds and the little white membrane on the inside. I'm going to dice this into about 2 centimetre pieces. So it cooks, everything's going to cook nice and quickly. Okay. So with the pepper, get it into manageable pieces. If your knife's nice and sharp, you're fine to cut through the shiny part. And just cut it into roughly 2 centimetre squares. It doesn't have to be too exact. So this recipe is going to use some diced chicken and also a nice delicious curry sauce, which is going to mean we can get this recipe done in 20 minutes. Using the sauce will take about 15 minutes off the cooking time. And right at the end of this dish, we're going to add the coriander, so we'll get that chopped now as well. The coriander leaves and the stalks are really fine on here, and there's plenty of flavour in them, so don't worry about picking the leaves off. Just bunch it all together in your hand like that, and then finally chop through. Just pop that into a bowl to one side, because that goes in right at the end of the cook. So that's all the chopping done, and we're ready now to cook the rice and to start cooking the chicken. So we have our nice little pouch of white basmati rice, and that's going to go into a pan of boiling water. It's going to take about 10 to 12 minutes to cook that through, and while that's cooking, we can make our chicken sauce. So we've got a nice large non-stick frying pan. Get that on the heat. A little spritz of low-calorie cooking spray, and then we can go in with our onions, our peppers, our chicken, and our tomatoes. So with this recipe, your chicken comes already diced, again, to keep this nice and quick. So that goes in. The tomatoes can go in whole as well. And we're just going to leave that for 3 or 4 minutes, just give it an occasional stir to brown that chicken and to start softening those vegetables. So the chicken's had 3 or 4 minutes and is nicely colouring, and we're ready to go in with our spice. So we've just got a tablespoon of ground cumin, and we've also got a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree. So all coming in these handy little pouches. We're just going to give that a stir just for about another minute before we add our sauce. The reason for this is you want to cook that spice. If you don't cook that out at this stage, you end up with quite a grainy texture at the end. So just by giving it a minute to toss through those vegetables and get a bit of heat into there, and smell that cumin, absolutely gorgeous. And then we'll be ready then to add in our sauce. So we've developed a delicious medium curry sauce which comes in these pouches, And by using this, we're probably taking 15 minutes or so off the recipe. You're not needing stock or passata or chopped tomatoes, anything like that. All the flavours in this sauce. It's all free as well. And that can go into the pan. And then we're just going to add about 100 ml or so of water. And give that a stir. And we're going to simmer that. Just turn the heat down a little bit on it. And simmer that for about 5 to 6 minutes just to cook that chicken through. So the chicken is simmered away in the sauce for 5 or 6 minutes until it's nicely cooked through. And I've just taken that off the heat. I'm just going to stir it for a few seconds there, and then we're going to pour in our fat-free yogurt. Always make sure you do it off the heat. If you cook that yogurt, it will split. It won't look very nice at all, but we can stir that through, along with around about 3/4 of the chopped coriander. And that gives you a delicious, creamy-looking finish to your chicken tikka masala. And we're ready to plate up. So I've drained the rice there, just in a sieve. And we're going to pop that into the bowl. And then just push that out to the edge. So our delicious chicken tikka masala can then go into the middle. In lovely vibrant colours, and all done in just less than 20 minutes. Now we've kept a little bit of the coriander just to garnish across the top, and that's our Slimming World Kitchen quick win chicken tikka masala.